Hi again, everyone. It's Eric Wolf from the World Food Travel Association for our second session of the 2022 FoodTreX Research Summit. And I am pleased to introduce to you Alicia Orea Giner, who will be talking about food activism and sustainable tourism. So Alicia, I will stop my video and please take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Eric, for organizing this FoodTreX Summit and also inviting me to participate. So I'm going to present our research that is focused on food tourism and sustainable tourism. So from a point of view considering activism and also social media participation. Okay, so I'm going to introduce a little bit the topic. And also I will talk about different parts of the research, but I'm trying to do it in a way that could also help industry to analyze the situation and understand what is happening. So first of all, I would like to say that the culinary system is a collective production. So it is part of the way of life of a social group. But there are different culinary systems that can coexist in our societies. At the same time, we can find, for example, different food practices, and we can see also that there is a link between the form or the way of eating and the personal decision concerning our lifestyle. So as consumers, we have the freedom. It's not a real freedom. It's like the possibility of choosing what to eat at any given moment. So starting from this point of view, we can talk about the concept of lifestyle and food activism. So about the concept of lifestyle, we have that there are a lot of research about that, and there is a definition that is from different authors that are Humphrey et al., and they say that lifestyle movements are focused on analyzing or increasing the communal action to alter society. So in this way, we can see that there are certain lifestyles that are linked to sustainability. For example, we have vegetarianism, minimalism, and also zero waste. So taking that, we want to analyze the sustainable food consumption from the point of view of a generation. The generation that we are analyzing is Generation Z, as I'm going to explain after. So from this point of view, we can see that there are different aspects connected with lifestyle, and one of them is food activism. So there are different ways of eating and also buying products related to food consumption, and at the same time, food preparation. So starting from the point of view of food activism, we can say that this concept means the efforts carried out by people to change the food system around the world by modifying the way of producing, distributing, and or consuming food. So they promote food consumption, and they are transforming the food system into one that is more ethical, sustainable in some cases, healthy, as we were saying on the previous presentation, democratic, and also culturally appropriate and of higher quality in some way. So through the analysis of the way of eating and the way of buying food, and at the same time the way of producing food, food activists, they are denouncing injustices about the food system while promoting changes in eating habits to push for a change in consumption in favor of their notion of good food. So they consider that there are, for example, different things that are classified as good food and some of them that are not. So also we can say that there are different types of food activism. So we can use different media, so social media and also media, to analyze these types of activism. For example, we can do it through web pages, blog, social networks, and also mobile applications. So considering all the things that can be analyzed from this point of view of food activism, the generation that is more connected with this concept and at the same time that is more aware about it is Generation Z. So Generation Z is a generation that is classified or considered as people that were born between 1995 and 2010, but there is a small comment that I have to add here. Some of them are minors, so I couldn't take into consideration people that are minors. So my studies focused only on people that are now more than 18 years old. So starting from this point of view and starting from analyzing this generation, they are also influenced by the way of using products in a more sustainable way, eating food in a more sustainable way, and at the same time, they try to know more about cultures. They try to increase their knowledge by using social media. So considering all of that, we can see that food and lifestyle movements have a significant impact on this generation. And this generation is a challenge since it appears that they have a different behavior to early generations, and they are leading to changes in consumer behavior. So starting from this point of view, we can identify, for example, different sustainable activists, sustainable believers, and sustainable moderates that are people interested on sustainability in different ways, considering their level of implication. So we can see that this part is also connected with food. Also, Jan said, consumers follow healthy eating habits, and they try to increase also the possibility of finding, for example, healthy options, for example, when they are traveling and when they are doing leisure activities. So considering all these concepts, food activism, sustainability, and also Generation Z, this research aims to analyze the influence on the lifestyle and sustainable choices of this generation through participation in a lifestyle movement and at the same time virtual community on Instagram and TikTok that is named Real Fooding. So Real Fooding is a lifestyle that is nowadays important in Spain. Additionally, we try to explore how the participation on this community influences tourism and leisure related decisions, as well as their connection with sustainable choices. So what does real fooding mean? So starting from their own definition, because they have a leader of this lifestyle movement that is called Carlos Rios. So starting from this point of view, they define real fooding as a lifestyle based on eating real food and avoiding ultra-processed food. And they consider that it's a movement that defends the right to access healthy food for the population. They said also that it is a revolution that fights with knowledge and awareness against the dark side. You can see here a reference to Star Wars of the food industry. So starting from their own definition and their own point of view, we can see that this is a type of community that is focusing their attention on sharing information about healthy food, healthy habits, and also it is a lifestyle movement that is attracting a lot of people on social media. They have more than 4 million of followers on Instagram. So the methodology employed is focused on conducting qualitative research. So I was doing participant observation. That means that I was following the social media of this lifestyle movement, and at the same time I was eating the same things that they are eating. So I was following the same rules and I was doing the same things that they are doing. Also, I was buying the same products. I was trying to, for example, when I'm traveling, I'm trying to do the same things. So I was employed all the things that are part of this social movement and lifestyle movement in my daily life. So at the same time, I was conducting some interviews with Generation Z participants that I'm going to explain after. So this study is employing a methodology that is called virtual ethnography. So I was introducing myself to the community by using virtual methods. And also at the same time, as I said before, I was doing all the things from this community point of view in my daily life. So also you have here the period of time. So this study started in 2020, October 1st, 2020, and I finished with that in February 12th, 2022. So I was more or less 1 year and a half following all the rules from this lifestyle movement. So to conduct the research, I started selecting the field that I'm going to explain after. Also, I did the participant observation and finally the interviews and the narrative research. So this is the field. The field means that I have to choose different Instagram accounts to analyze the content and to be part also of the community that they are creating. So I decided to use the Instagram account from the leader of the project or the leader of the real fooding. That is this one. Also, I used the Instagram account of the community in general. That is this one. And also they have it's like an Instagram account related to their own app. So they published and they share with all people interested an app to follow the diet. And with this app, it's possible to scan codes when you are at the supermarket, and you can have a classification of the food. You can see the ingredients, you can see, for example, the nutrition, you can see everything there with this app. So to introduce myself to this community, I created an Instagram account, and the Instagram account was focused on explaining that I was doing a research, and at the same time, I was sharing the process. So I was sharing, for example, pictures of the things that I was cooking during these days, following their recipes, and also following their indications. And at the same time, I was trying to explain why I decided to choose this community and why I'm conducting this study. So with all of this information, I carried out the participant observation. Also, I did the same in TikTok, but in the case of TikTok, I didn't publish content because because of different reasons. The first one is that I would like to use TikTok in the future to create also content related to my research. And at the same time, the point of view of TikTok is different. So I was watching videos and trying to find information about recipes, but I didn't publish my own content there. So Instagram allowed me to analyze the process of being part of this community, and at the same time I had the opportunity of being in contact with other people following the rules of the real fooding lifestyle. So here you can see the second stage of the research that was focused on analyzing the results from online interviews. So after following a lot of people and talking with a lot of people from the Generation Z about this community and asking them things, I decided to focus my attention on 10 people. So these 10 individuals participated on an interview, and they answered questions related to the way of following the rules of this community when they are traveling. And like that, I could have more information about the connection between the community and sustainable and healthy behavior. So as you can see here, the lifestyle was different. There were some of them that also added more lifestyles at the same time. So they have, for example, they are following, in the case of this one, the participant number 8, was following a vegan diet and at the same time real fooding. Also, we have this one that was flexitarian and also follow real fooding lifestyle. So the results are connected with the community and the real fooding concept, and at the same time with the generation set. So after the analysis and after 1.5 years, more or less, of research, we can say that the real fooding lifestyle movement is also a community that is linked to food activism. It is because the principles of this lifestyle movement are related to change the consumption habits. Also, they are critic with the system, they are critic with agri-food industry, and also with the power and political situation linked to food consumption. And also, this type of activism is related to publishing a lot of information on social media regarding for example, the decisions of the government about food consumption, about also financing different types of products from the food industry. And they are trying to lead a movement focused on a healthy diet that can be also extrapolated to having a greater awareness about product consumption and also the influence that marketing has on purchasing decisions. So they are trying to inform people and give some examples of marketing strategies that could be focused on manipulate the behavior of the population to buy their products. For example, they talk about the use of for example, the small gifts that we can find in products for children, and they try to give information about all these things. So they categorize and labelize the food, and there are different types. So they consider that real food is the food itself. For example, you can see that a potato is real food. Also, they categorize that they are fake food, that are ultra-processed food, and also they consider that some type of processed food can be good food for them. For example, in the case of some products that we are going to see, they introduce changes on the products in order to make it more healthy and in order to avoid some ingredients. For example, they don't like to introduce a lot of sugar or a lot of oil, so they work with olive oil. So they are trying to introduce different changes in order to make food more healthy, and also they follow the scientific publications about food consumption. So as you can see here, they say that the consumption of real food and good processed foods can also be linked to the concept of clean eating, which is a moral system of food consumption with a preference for foods perceived as natural, free of chemicals, additives, preservatives, and also, for example, ultra-processed ingredients. So they follow all the scientific articles about the benefits or the disadvantages of food and ultra-processed food in order to create their categorization and labelization of products. Also, through this research, it is possible to say that we can follow different lifestyle movements at the same time. So, for example, they have a different Instagram account focused on veganism. Also, they have a Instagram account trying to improve and publishing information about the political positions, and they try to introduce concept has flexitarian and other things. So they try to continue with the food activism through their publications and through their receipts at the same time. So here you can see this is one of the products that they are selling now. They created it from a point of view of following that they have to create a product that can be healthy and at the same time tasty, and also a product that can offer a good opportunity to use your time for other things, but at the same time having the opportunity of eating healthy and eating traditional food. So they created this one that is salmorejo and gazpacho that are typical from Spain. And also they created this one that is an ice cream, but it doesn't contain sugar. So it's sugar-free. They introduce dates and also other things, but they try to increase the natural ingredients on their products. So considering all of that, we can say that this lifestyle movement is also developing food activism activities by launching products under its own trademark. So they have a trademark that is Real Fooding, and they are offering these products for sale in supermarkets in order, according to the movement's leader, to change the system. So they are creating different products. They are also using the scientific publications to create new products and increase the interest on this type of products through the market. So finally, about the part regarding Generation Z, healthy and sustainable choices when traveling, we can see that they are trying to find sustainable choices, but when traveling, it is expensive, and at the same time, it's not possible to find traditional food in some way that can be healthy at the same time, because traditional food in some cases is also adapting the products and the ingredients to the situation now in the market. So there are some traditional food that originally doesn't include a lot of sugar, but now the changes are introducing more sugar or ingredients that were not considered as traditional. Also, we can see that more people are joining this type of movements and lifestyle movements. So there is a necessity of considering veganism, vegetarianism, and other types of lifestyle movements when we are offering food and we are focusing our attention to increase that this generation travel. And also they are worried about, for example, climate change, and they try to avoid to buy products that are connected, for example, with using a lot of plastic or using products that are not considering the environmental situation. So as conclusions, we can say that there are different important things here. For example, the concept of co-creation. So we need to think that the customer and the possible or the potential tourist is going to be focused on giving us some information to increase our services and to offer a new way of eating that could be healthy at the same time that sustainable and traditional. So these patterns are changing as the market is in a continuous change. So from a marketing point of view, we can design products, and we can introduce it on our, for example, our offer in the case of being a restaurant, to attract also this generation. So from the point of view of the results of this research, the tourism industry is not yet prepared to cope with Generation Z, and tourism industry need to adapt the service and carrying out brand washing strategies, because Generation Z needs to know everything about the products, everything about the process of, for example, producing food, and everything about how the restaurant is using the food and the other elements. So in this case, this fact is fundamental to attract Generation Z. And I'm going to use 1 more minute to explain that we are editing. It is a special issue for tourism management perspectives. So if you are interested on sending us an abstract, you can do it. And here you can find 2 different QR codes. One is the PDF of the call for papers. So we will be delighted to receive your work and read it. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Alicia, why don't you put your email in the chat if you'd like people to contact you? And I see that on your special issue, you're working with Francesc, and we are just finishing up a book together.
Yes.
So he's quite wonderful to work with, a smart guy. I have a couple of questions for you. So first of all, I think the word real fooding is a challenging word to understand without explanation, but it makes sense once you do. And I was absolutely astonished to see 1.7 million followers on Instagram, and maybe I'm showing my age, I don't know, but wow, to see someone that has that many followers on Instagram that's in a category by themselves. But I think that it was interesting and noteworthy that they are also selling food and beverage products. And I think some people may see that as a conflict of interest, where others may simply see it as smart business. I think that a lot of what this real fooding thing is about echoes a little bit the Slow Food's motto of guaranteeing good food, good, clean, and fair food for all. There's a lot of similarities there. And you talked about clean eating, and we had introduced a concept that applied to the Scandinavian countries. We called it clean cuisine, and that is a term that really describes a lot of the way they eat there. They don't have a lot of additives or processed food. They try to eat more clean food. But more importantly, I'm trying to connect the food activism element being connected to tourism, and you were explaining how this is the behavior of the Generation Z. Is this more about the food and beverage products that are being enjoyed by tourists, or how else could it be connected to tourism specifically?
Okay, so thank you for the question. So in the case of Generation Z, when talking with them, they are interested on visiting, for example, new destinations, but they prefer to travel to destinations that are near them. So it could be because of 2 reasons. Generation Z is young, so they don't have they are not in a powerful situation, economic situation. So in this case, they can prefer to travel to near destinations because they can afford travel, for example, to China in this case, or to other destinations that are far away. So it is also important to consider that they are the people from Generation Z that are considered for this study are from Spain. So in previous studies that are connected with Generation Z, for example, from other countries, their awareness about sustainability and healthy food is also more important when traveling. And they decided, for example, the destination, considering the impact that they can create on the environment. And at the same time, they choose the hotel, the restaurants from more sustainable point of view. But in some cases, it depends also of the price, because they don't have the possibility of paying a lot. So sustainable choices and healthy choices talking about food and tourism in general, are expensive. So Generation Z can think about it, but maybe they cannot pay for this type of services. So in the future, when they will be incorporated to the industry and they will have more possibilities to pay for these products, they are going to buy it. But for the moment, they don't have a lot of power to that.
Okay. Well, I think, and just one last comment before we have to go to the next session, but I just wrote in the chat, we take our behaviors with us when we travel. And I think what you've done is expand on that. We've been saying that for a very long time, that people don't stop being vegan or gluten-free or stop having an allergy to peanuts when they travel. So these are new behaviors and we're taking them with us when we travel. And you've just done a very nice job of explaining how a new generation of travelers is taking the behavior with them. So thank you for that, Alicia. It was very interesting.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we will move straight into the next room and we will begin with the next presentation immediately. See you over there in just a minute.